Welcome, all of you types and types. Crap! I screwed it up! As usual, only Pokemon introduced from this gen are allowed, and no legendaries, and no Mega Evolutions. That could be a list in itself. The only Pokemon on this list I haven't used, hell, all the Pokemon in my top 10 following this, I have used in either Pokemon X or Pokemon Y. I think those games are pretty underrated, to be honest, but that's also a potential topic for another video. A spooky tree of ghost and grass type is such an obvious Pokemon to have. Here it is. It is the perfect blend of a tree and a ghost, and as someone that loves the Halloween aesthetic, this is amazing to me without even having used one. The colours are beautiful, but I also think this Pokemon has one of the best shiny forms in all of Pokemon. I am so glad that the early root bird no longer has to be normal flying type. I might be wrong, but I think all of the very early root flying type Pokemon before this were all normal type. I am so grateful to Talonflame for breaking this trend. It's just a very cool, ironic since it's hot, design. If this thing was a normal flying type, it would still be good, but this type choice and colour palette is outstanding. While at one point my least favourite evolution, Sylveon grew on me sorry for my foul fucking mouth here, a hecking lot. The main reason being, I actually got to use it and my god, this thing slaughters. While I do think it stands out from the other evolutions in not looking as much like an evolution as the others, that said, I've always thought Espeon was kinda like that too. This is clearly an evolution of Eevee, and a well-designed one too. I think part of my issue with this Pokemon originally was just that it was the only true evolution we got in Gen 6 from an older gen Pokemon, and since Gen 4, we've yet to see another big pile of evolution ideas happen. This might be one of the most popular Pokemon of all time, and while it is high when compared to all the Pokemon in my overall list, I guess, it's not even close to number 1. Spoiler alert, Delphox was never even considered for this list. I was so disappointed when the Fox Pokemon turned into that. So for this gen I decided it was time to go with the Water type starter for the first time since Gen 3, my first generation of Pokemon. I don't regret picking this thing. Froakie and its entire line were great. And another big reason I chose it was because I knew I wanted Mega Charizard X on my team. It's a badass looking Ninja Frog Toad Pokemon. My god, am I professional. It uses its tongue as a scarf, and I know a lot of people don't like that, but I think it's pretty badass. You wanna know what a lot of people really won't like seeing? Well, let's look. It's obvious that Greninja was the most popular starter of the generation, and while I still think Chespin may perhaps be the most generic looking starter Pokemon ever, and its second stage is just... yeah, okay. This stage made me realise I'm not blinded by nostalgia, because I used this Pokemon the second time I played through Gen 6. I have two fairly chunky issues with this Pokemon. I think it has a bit of an odd colour palette, don't know how I change it. Hell, I like it shiny a bit more, I think. The other issue is just how bad its level up moveset is, especially for fighting type moves. That said, what I like about it being its core design and it being my grass type of the generation are just so good to me that it still made it this high up the list. It's just a shame it didn't start with a better level up move pool. Maybe it's been fixed since Gen 6, I don't know. This Pokemon kind of feels like it's not fully evolved, and I think that's part of the reason I like it so much. It's also an electric lizard. Something about that is so freaking cool to me. It's just a well-designed Pokemon that did well as the electric type on my team. I do think it's weird it's got normal type though. It feels a bit pointless. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can really think of to say beyond this point. Fortunately, it's because I think it's generally great. Unfortunately again, it means this video will be shorter and you won't have to listen to me for as long. Okay, well, maybe this Pokemon wouldn't be as high if I didn't have a shiny of it. Took way too long to get, but I really wanted to use it. I love its snowier look as a shiny. That said, its regular colours are great too, where it looks really icy. It's just a long-necked dinosaur that's an ice rock type, though it doesn't look very rock-like. But honestly, that's not a problem to me. It actually benefits it to me, as most fossils are very clearly rock type, making this Pokemon stand out and feel far more unique. It also has a very uncommon type, and that helps it too, even if the type makes it have an insane amount of weaknesses. the other fossil Pokemon from the generation, and the one I used in my original Gen 6 playthrough, these top 3 all being members of my original Gen 6 team. While still on the topic of the Gen 6 fossil Pokemon, I would love to eventually get the shiny for this Pokemon, even though I doubt I will use it, as I don't intend to use another one in a playthrough. This is one of the only Pokemon that I struggle to imagine ever being truly friendly. This thing is a monstrous rock and dragon type T-Rex that I can picture tearing apart a wild Sawsbuck with ease. Despite being dragon type, I think I mostly use this as my rock type, and I don't regret it. I remember this Pokemon doing really well for my team. First Pokemon of this generation I fell in love with the moment I saw it. A problem I have with some fighting types, it happens with other types too, fighting is just the type I notice it with the most, is how those Pokemon are basically wearing clothes or have bulking muscles. The twig in the mouth is simple and small and is believable as a thing this Pokemon would just pick up in nature when it finds one it likes. I love how this took an in real life kinda goofy and innocent looking animal and instead made it intimidating and ready to kick some pokey ass. This didn't have a big role in it getting to the list, but seeing it in Detective Pikachu made me like it even more because it showed me that yes, I imagined this Pokemon how it was supposed to be. Hawlucha has an amazing typing and design, I have simply never used one. Great design, never used it, but I don't think it'd make that much of a difference if I had used it. Kinda weirds me out, but not in a bad way. Very interesting looking Pokemon. I mostly just love the absurdity of obtaining this Pokemon, having to turn your 3DS upside down to get it to this point. Remember how I said Tyrantrum wasn't really my dragon type this gen? Well, it's because I used this Pokemon. If you have followed my previous top 10s, then you'll know I often struggle to get attached to the pseudo-legendary Pokemon because they evolve so freaking late, and with me being underleveled intentionally in most Pokemon games, it makes it unlikely that when I do decide to pick one up, that I'll get all that attached to it. Well, one of my biggest issues with this generation was how this version of the EXP share made everything too easy, and yeah, it just did. However, I didn't want to turn it off because I would rather have an easy adventure than no EXP share at all. Still would have liked the option for a single Pokemon targeted EXP share like the games before this, but I digress. This allowed me to have a fully evolved pseudo just as I entered the league. Goodra is easily the cutest pseudo-legendary to me, and as a result, it stands out from the rest of them a ton, and is one of my favourites for it. Sure, Dragonite could be considered cute too, but I still find that design kind of awkward and goofy looking, to be honest. Goodra I think is both genuinely cute and it looks like it could kick my ass, and the ass of most Pokemon. Despite it being goo, it and Snorlax are near the top of Pokemon I would love to hug. This Pokemon also has a beautiful shiny. I just really like this Pokemon all around. That's all for this video anyway. Let me know your favourite Pokemon from Gen 6 and why in the comments. The why is important to me as I actually read the comments. And until next time, bye I guess.